Hi, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi here with your First Alert Weather Extra on this Thursday morning. It is definitely a wet day out there. Our First Alert Weather Day, certainly for the heavy rain that we're seeing out there right now across the state and that we'll continue to see for at least the next, say, 12 hours or so. It's going to stay quite unsettled throughout the day today. So if you had any plans to head outdoors, it's really not looking like the best day. There are some gradual improvements, but key word there being gradual throughout Memorial Day weekend. Here's a live look at Old Saybrook. A lot of boats in the marina. I'm sure a lot of people really were looking to get out on the water this weekend. And as much as it'll be okay Saturday, it's really Sunday looks good and Monday is the best day. I mean, mid-70s, a lot of sunshine. It's just today, tomorrow, and even, say, the first part of Saturday. But beyond that, we do much better. Heading up Route 9 through Middletown. Noticed very wet roadways there as well. Route 9 northbound, approaching the lights. Pretty slow go at this hour. Hartford, see Main Street there, very wet. Temperatures, 46 degrees. What a difference a week makes. I mean, here's our where things stand for May so far. This time last week, we reached 75, 80s last Friday and Saturday. I mean, all of last week was at or above average. Notice all the red tiles. That gray tile on the 11th, that's exactly where we should have been. That's the 71 was the average high temperature for that day. This week, every day will be a blue tile. And we should see at least a mix of some red and blue tiles for next week. But overall, the trend is to keep things cooler and wetter for the rest of May. We've had a very wet month, surplus over a couple inches. And we will be adding to that today a May nor'easter, bringing the possibility of even some record low temperatures, or I should say record low high temperatures. What that means is the record for the coolest afternoon high on this day is 49 degrees. That was set back in 1909 for the Hartford area. Well, we're forecasting 48. So we beat that by a degree. That's, over 100 years ago. Wild. Even through Bridgeport, the record for the coolest afternoon high is 54, set back about 20 years ago. We're forecasting 52. So, yeah, pretty chilly out there. No surprise, our First Alert Weather Day is in effect throughout the day today. We've seen, say, about a half of an inch up to an inch of rain so far. Winds gusting 30 to 40 at times. Generally right now in that 10 to 20 mile per hour range, but an area of low pressure developing to the south of Connecticut will really increase those wind speeds later on this afternoon and throughout the evening hours. First Alert Live radar shows the heaviest rain right now is through central and eastern Connecticut, through parts of northwestern Litchfield County. Not seeing much right now, that rain lightening up, but look at all the yellows and reds making their way into, say, New London County at this hour. That will continue throughout the day today. The greater Hartford area, heavy rain just off towards the north and to the east. Bradley, Windsor, through I-84, Tolland, Ellington, down through Vernon, Bolton, Hebron, Colchester, Route 2, pouring. Farther to the south, Old Saybrook, Guilford, Clinton, Madison, Hammonasset, really getting into that rain out there. New Haven and West Haven seeing all the rain. Merritt Parkway is very wet, as well as, say, I-95 from New York to Rhode Island. A very, very wet day, and that's what we'll continue to see throughout this Thursday. Temperatures, chilly. Look at Salisbury and Torrington, both right now coming in at 43 degrees. 44 in Putnam, 45 in Willimantic, 46 in Hartford, 47 in Groton, 48 degrees in Meriden. And the least cool spot, but still chilly, that's New Haven. Right now, 49 degrees. The winds out of the north and east. There is a coastal flood advisory, but really not that much in the way of any issues. We've passed our high tide cycle. That was over an hour ago and didn't see any issues. And with wind out of the north and east, it's, if anything, pushing that water closer towards Long Island Sound. So the north shore of Long Island might have some issues. And then out west towards New York City. But here in Connecticut, besides a few isolated areas, really not looking at much in the way of any inundation from Long Island Sound. Check this out, though. This probably gets me a little bit more than maybe some of the heavier rain. It's the feels like temperatures. 38 is what it feels like right now in Torrington as well as Waterbury. Upper 30s for May 22nd. Very hard to believe. And everybody else is feeling like about 40 to 45. That's the way things stay throughout the entire day today. Your visibility, not terrible, but not great. It's really not so much the pouring rain, but when you're out on the roadways, the spray from the vehicles around you, that's really the visibility issues you want to focus on. These don't take those into account. This is more so, say, at area airports. So you're looking at throughout the column of air. If you're flying a plane, not the best day to fly at all today. Satellite and radar, though, across the northeast shows an area of low pressure developing to the south of Connecticut that'll head up the eastern seaboard. A classic nor'easter just at a pretty uncommon time. We don't see these in May. And if this was snow, boy, would we be talking about a big snowstorm with 10 to 20 inches of snow, blizzard-like conditions at times. But when we get a nor'easter in May, it is rain, at least here in Connecticut. Notice out to the west, this area of spin in upstate New York through about Buffalo, that's the area of low pressure that will kind of keep us a little unsettled through tomorrow and first part of Saturday. It's this surface low that's developing just off of the coast of New Jersey that will give us the very heavy rain and is giving us the rain that we're seeing today. The axis for the heaviest rain, though, just off to the east of Connecticut. You can see those oranges and reds in the last few frames there. They'll be pushing up through, say, extreme eastern Connecticut, but through Rhode Island and the Cape and the islands. Temperatures across the northeast, 40s and 50s. That's all you get for today. We should be in the mid-70s. So, yeah, much cooler than average. The rest of the month that's what's forecast to see at or below average temperatures. So, yeah, we could mix in a warmer day here and there, but the trend is not to see that warmth that we all would like to be seeing, I'm sure. First Alert Futurecast does show, though, that heaviest rain to the south of Connecticut and south of Long Island will push up through Rhode Island and Massachusetts, but still, we get that northeasterly wind throughout the day today as that area of low pressure deepens and strengthens and heads up to the north and east. Rainfall continues. Here's your evening commute. Still pretty wet. So just take it slow. Plan on taking it slow throughout the day today. 11 p.m., you see that area of low pressure basically over Cape Cod Bay and still bringing us a gusty wind with a few showers. But notice what happens in the northern Berkshires and the Green Mountains in Vermont. We're talking snow is expected. Not so much in the way of any accumulating snow, but even to see snow in May is pretty wild, falling from the sky. That continues throughout the overnight hours to the north of Connecticut. No snow expected here, but boy, is it going to be chilly overnight. 40s wind chills even throughout the overnight hours, down in the 30s statewide. Tomorrow morning, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, a few showers. Notice how we stay a bit unsettled throughout Friday night into Saturday. Any rainfall for Saturday morning looks to be north of, say, the Mass Pike and up through upstate New York. Might even see a little bit of sunshine when you start the day on your Saturday. Clouds look to fill in, though. And throughout the afternoon hours, can't rule out an isolated shower, but in terms of drying out, yeah, we'll begin that on Saturday. So if you have any plans, any proms or graduations, you're pretty good. I mean, besides not having much in the way of a lot of sunshine, at least it won't be raining. So you can get away with any outdoor activities that you have planned. Any showers that we see on Saturday will be very short-lived and more of that nuisance variety. So at this point, I would not change any plans that you have on Saturday. Forecast highs today. Sheesh, look at that. 40s, maybe 50 along the I-95 corridor, but it doesn't feel like 50 at all for anybody today. With that northeasterly wind, periods of heavy rain, it's quite windy as well. Tonight, our temperatures fall back into the lower half of the 40s. Feeling, though, like the mid and upper 30s, still a few showers around. It's overcast, and that breeze still continues as well. Your First Alert 7-day forecast. Here's what we mean by gradual improvement. So today, complete washout. Tomorrow, a few scattered showers, but temperatures climbing to near 60. Saturday, that sun does return, at least intermittently. Temperatures a little bit warmer, 63, still over 10 degrees below average, though. A few isolated showers, by no means plan altering. Sunday, certainly the better of the two weekend days, near 70, more sunshine. It's still a bit breezy. Monday, though, Memorial Day, Pick day of the next 7. 76 degrees, a lot of sunshine. After a cooler start in the 40s, it really warms up, though, to near or maybe a degree or two above average. By Tuesday, clouds increase later in the day, maybe a few showers, still mild, though, mid-70s. And then we're cooler for Wednesday with a few showers possible, highs by then near 70. Your shoreline high temperatures, if you have plans, Sunday, Monday, you're doing just fine. Saturday, if you had any plans already scheduled, they're still okay, but you might be having to dodge an isolated shower or two. Those showers return, though, once again, by the middle part of next week. All right, guys, that's your First Alert forecasts on this First Alert Weather Extra. Stay dry out there. Stay safe. If you have to plan, or if you have to head out, plan to take it slow. Leave plenty of extra time. Pack your patience. And once you get past today, the weekend certainly improves as we go through Saturday, especially Sunday. And if you took off Monday, you took off a great, great day. All right. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks for watching.